Today we are joined by head women's basketball coach Krista Kilburn-Staveski and our two seniors, Boogie Brzezowski and Sika Kuzik. Coach, opening statement.
Obviously it was a great night for Hofstra University with Pack the Mac and things like that. We had a good crowd and we just didn't deliver what we are capable of doing, and so that's a little bit of a disappointment, but kudos to Columbia. They decided to try to take us out of what we do, and it took us a while to get adjusted, and obviously we came out on the losing end.
Sika, you had a double-double today. What was going for you today?
I just wanted us to win. We have a lot of people who can do a lot of things, and I feel like I'm the one who can also help in doing a lot of things. So it's just doing my job.
Boogie, when your shot's not falling, what do you do to adjust the team?
I pick it up defensively. I do other things that can help the team win. Just because my shot isn't falling doesn't mean that we can't win the game. So I rely on my other teammates when it comes to that. Sika did a great job rebounding, scoring, getting to the basket. Jalen did amazing. Jakayla, the freshman, came in and gave us some great minutes. So this is just a learning experience. I mean, we played a tough fought game. And like Coach said, kudos to Columbia. They came in, they followed their game plan. It took us out of our rhythm. We didn't play our game, I don't think, for the full game. So we'll take this one and learn from it.
You talked about rhythm, and this can go for all three of you. There were a lot of fouls being called, particularly in the first half. How does that affect the rhythm of the team in play?
Well, it does, and then again, what can we control? So, and then they quit calling them, and then we get attacking drives they don't call. But whatever, it does affect the flow. We can't control it. It didn't have anything to do with the outcome, but it's just disappointing, and I'll say that publicly. It's just stripping away our game because these kids don't know what the heck they can do. So it's very disappointing, and I will stand on my head. And been in this game for a long time, a game that I love. And you got all those fans out there, and everybody's going to fall asleep. It's 32 to something. We're not scoring any points, and they're calling every foul. So, again, it had nothing to do with us, and the outcome of our game. But it's just not fun.
When you come out in the beginning of the second half and Columbia goes on that run and nothing's falling for you guys, what adjustments do you make to try to find that offense again?
Yeah, well, we did. We made a big one. We just tried to kind of just spread it out for ourselves and just attack and play. We back in my old days, you would be going, what are we running? It's not what we were running, it was just how we were doing. But we just kind of we simplified it for them so they could just keep it a little simple and just try to attack. And that's when, they got a little more confidence back and got in their rhythm. But we didn't shoot well tonight. I mean, we had 20 extra shot opportunities on our own floor. Biggie was just pointing out we were 12 for 20 from the free throw line, and they were early in a tight game like this. So, it's like we had every chance to take the game today. We had that one run when we tried to take it and we didn't hold on to it. So I think we need to be more pointed about how we can take the game, and then we got to keep that consistency to take it. No matter if you played terrible for 32 minutes, because pretty much we only played about 8 minutes of our basketball today, realistically, right? We only played 8 minutes of our basketball, and it is what it is. As a coach, you're still going to win those games, and we can still win those games. It wasn't pretty, but we can still win those games. Tonight we did not, and so I think that's where we go back and go, yeah, you're right. Didn't like it that this didn't happen. It doesn't come down to the last play. Doesn't come down to the last. We missed somebody in transition. Late game, and that was painful. But what all the things that we could have done before we got to this point. So I think that's well said by Boogie. I mean, last year, people would be looking at Boogie if she wasn't scoring. Now they're helping Boogie. And she's not getting frustrated about it. It isn't take Boogie out and the team is going to fold. We have a lot of help, and she makes everything happen. If somebody's going to stay on the court for almost 40 minutes, no matter if she's hitting or not, that tells you how valuable somebody is to the team. And that's exactly where she's at. So we are a different team, and this is just going to be fun to go to work and figure this out.
Boogie, you had that during the big run in the fourth quarter. You had a really nice no-look behind the back pass to Hines on the 2-on-1. What was going through your head as you're running down the court, just with one defender ahead of you and the basket not far away?
I mean, it was a 2-on-1 fast break. I saw Jay running. I trust her. I knew she was going to be there to catch the ball and make the layup. And I just added a little sauce to it. But it was a great energy run that we had. And we're a younger team. We have a lot of younger kids helping us and playing for us this year. So this is definitely a learning experience, and we learned a lot from this game. So we'll go back and watch the film and see every mistake that we made and every good play that we made because it wasn't all terrible.
Coach, despite the shooting throughout the night, at the end you had a chance there. You were
Yeah.
right there. What did you think of the team's execution down
Well,
the
that's
stretch?
what you always say, right? And I said it to Anna because I know she was somebody like, you had a chance. We didn't just throw the ball away. We didn't just take a terrible shot. Like, we had an extra time, so we came over there and and had an extra little timeout here because we didn't have any more timeouts at that point. And they executed down that little stretch right there and got a great look, right? So you feel good about that. Like I said, just having an opportunity to be in some late game situations and having some wrinkles out of that. I mean, because these players are great enough to make plays. Great players make plays. This might take something away. We can figure out how to, how to compensate. But yeah, you're spot on that. I told Anna that. I was like, look, you always feel good when you get the shot off. You feel terrible when you don't get any execution at the end. So we go back. We got our mindset now on Stony Brook. We can't mess around with that. We have definitely that one's been marked on the calendar. So we need to get ourselves ready to take care of them at Stony Brook. Yep. Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you guys.